We're not as strong as we say we are or we think we are. I'm not, you're not, we all are. You know, we see strength as this armor, like it's this unshakable, unbending wall we build around ourselves. But walls crack, walls crumble, and when the weight of life presses hard enough, that rigidity we idolize, it doesn't protect us, it betrays us. And I think we've gotten to the point where we see strength as, you know, we we pair strength with the absence of movement. That to be strong is to never yield. To be strong is to never accept what stillness can provide. To be strong is to go from place to place to place, yet not seeking any rest. To never flinch, to never show softness. But what doesn't move breaks. The rigid is always the first to shatter, and yet we chase after that brittle illusion as strength, as it's the standard of survival, as if that is the thing that makes us, as if life is as if that is all life has to offer. We run in circles trying to mask what we truly are. We we hide, we dodge so much things in our lives from our past that try to show up and try to bring us where we need to be. I always feel as if the present moment will not force you to be with it, but it will come a time where you have to reckon with what it is. Think of the things that do last. Think of the things that endure time itself. A tree does not stand tall for 100 years because it refused to bend. It stands because it learned to bow with the wind. It learned to grow with the challenges. It learned to dance with the rain. To give just enough so that the storm doesn't uproot it. And I think we need to become accustomed to allowing the storm to mold us just enough so that we don't become one with it. Water doesn't carve valleys because it's hard. It carves them because it moves. It carves them because it continues to never yield, because it bends. Even fire, as destructive as fire is, it carries the strength in its ability to spread, to take shape into whatever it touches. None of these forces survive by being rigid. They survive because they adapt. I think we've stopped adapting to what life is and tried to force what we think life is. And I think that, excuse my potty mouth, is the stupidest decision we can make. We call ourselves strong when we bury our pain. We call ourselves strong when we hide our tears, when we refuse to bend under the weight of our own breaking. Steel doesn't become steel by staying rigid. It has to melt under that heat for it even to become steel. We glorify silence over honesty. We wear masks over vulnerability. But what if the real strength, I feel, the real strength isn't in pretending? The real strength isn't in pretending that you're untouchable. It's in admitting you're not, when you're not okay. Strength isn't in the closed fist, but in the open hand, not in the stone faced, but in the tear that falls and still chooses to rise again. That is what I believe strength is. It's not in being unchanging, it's being unbreakable, because you change, because you bend, you stretch, you fill those spaces, you reshape because you keep going. We're not as strong as we think we are. And I think that's the point. I think that is the ultimate point I'm trying to get across here. Maybe true strength is never about, proving how much we can resist, but how deeply we can endure. You know, how can we walk out the fire molded, not shattered? How can we allow ourselves to bend without losing who we are at the root? Because strength is not rigidity. Rigidity snaps, resilience endures. And I think that's the lesson that we all have to learn. We see strength as this one dimensional thing. We see strength as this you know, all or nothing. You know, you don't have to be strong every day. Sometimes just let the day take you. Sometimes just let that thing happen. That's where the strength is. As you allow it to happen, you stand firm in who you are. As you allow it to occur, you know that no matter what, you will come out on the other side. That's what strength is to me. God bless each and every one of you. Um, God bless this country, man.